So, hi, I'm Sabina Persson from Castellans, and you're so welcome to this CX Minutes, the videocast. This 6 questions, 6 minutes, and it's all about customer experience. Um, Now, CX Minutes is a series of episodes where we will bring you actionable insights, practical know-how, and personal stories from top professionals, and all in just 6 minutes. That's the ambition. And joining me today is Joanna Kerr from Allegro. You are so very welcome, Joanna. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you, Sabina. It's absolutely great to be here and lovely to see you again because
Likewise.
the listeners might not know we did a webinar together last year, so it's great to be invited as a guest and to have the chance to talk with you. And I love this format.
That's good. That's great. Yeah, me too. It's like quick and dirty in a way.
Yeah.
So before we jump into the questions, do you just want to share with me, short who you are and what you do?
Absolutely. So I work today as a customer experience consultant for Allegro Communication. I've been doing that for just over 4.5 years, which the
Mm.
time has just flown.
Yeah.
And that basically means that I get to work with all kinds of companies, whether it is starting their customer experience program or
Mm.
navigating their digital customer journey. So
Mm.
yeah. And I try to be a sharer. I try to share and contribute as much as possible to the customer experience
Mm.
and community.
Yeah, and you sure do. That's for sure.
Oh, thank
All
you.
right, let's jump into the questions. You've chosen the future of CX, so that's what we're going to talk about. So first of
Yeah.
all, what's one overlooked CX trend that you think people should pay more attention to?
One overlooked CX trend, I believe, we should be paying more attention to is the fact that um, well, this landscape is just hugely changing at the
Mm.
moment because of the introduction of AI.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And of course, it's not AI as such that I think that we should that is being overlooked. What I think is being overlooked is the effect that it is having on humans
Mm.
having the ability to train and develop and evolve themselves in great customer experience and communication
Mm.
because we are actually giving more and
Yeah.
more. We are
Yeah,
giving
that's right.
responsibility to automation and to AI. And I think that is a trend we're really overlooking is
Mm.
ensuring that our people remain with the level of competency that we
Mm.
need
Yeah.
to deliver great customer experiences.
Got it. Yeah. No, yeah, I totally agree on
It's
that.
huge.
It's huge. We could talk, an hour just on that. But
Yeah.
that actually bridges us to the next question. How do you see then the AI shaping the future of customer experience? You've touched
Okay.
upon it already a little.
Yeah. I mean, it's hugely shaping. We're doing a project ourselves within the world of the Bureau, Communication
Mm.
Bureau, because this is one area where you see that AI is taking over hugely within
Mm.
design, text, even coding, all of these different responsibilities
Mm.
that we do it within the Bureau.
Mm.
And what I see, I've just completed a qualitative research with all of our employees, and what I see is that most people
Mm.
are using now AI as their own personal assistant. So
Oh,
this
I can
is
relate to that.
yes, yeah. Um, So I think
Mm.
this is how the change I expect we are definitely going to see that everything,
Mm.
and this is also why I'm worried about us losing our competencies,
Mm.
because everything that we sort of have to reflect a little bit more over,
Mm.
we are using our AI virtual agent to help us do
Mm.
the job.
Yeah.
And while it's an amazing asset,
Mm.
it's saving so much time. It's
Mm.
helping so much with ideation. It's also, yeah, this agentic AI. I think this is going to be a huge trend that we are going to have agents as what do you call it, partners to serve our customers, but also as partners to serve our internal employees with all their queries.
Yeah.
So AI it's changing so much. We see that contact centers more and more is being dealt by artificial chatbots. And of course, within predictive analytics, and that is an amazing area that we will definitely see within understanding and customer journeys of, instead of being reactive, that we will be able to, in a greater deal, be more predictive as the future goes on.
Yeah. And that brings me to, sorry.
Yeah, go on.
I'm on the clock. No.
I know.
But speaking of, the role of CX, how do you see that evolving in the future as well, or in organizations?
Yeah, and this last year in October, I actually held a panel discussion about this at the International Customer Experience Awards. And one of the questions was how do we see the future of customer experience? And I think a unanimous consideration is that customer experience is going to be harmonized within the way we operate our businesses. And I think this is something we have been consultants like myself or thought leaders or whoever, we've been trying to get this message across for so long, but we see that this is changing now. We see that companies are in fact now embedding customer experience. They're not just doing customer experience, they're being customer centric, which means that you need to embed this into all of your operations, from everything to employee experience to logistics, to marketing, of course, all of the different sectors or pillars within the organization that customer experience is now going to be operationalized in a much greater manner than it has been. So I think gone are the days where we're still confusing customer experience with customer service. Although I'm sure there's many saying, oh, we're still struggling with that. But the future is more about actually embedding customer experience management into the operations within the organization.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right in that
hallelujah
one.
to that.
And hallelujah for that. Absolutely. It's not a day. I mean, we've been waiting for this. So what's one thing about, CX that you think will look completely different in 10 years? It seems like we've touched upon it, but I'll let you answer that as well.
Yeah, completely different. Am I allowed to say what I hope?
Oh, yeah. Yes, this is your time.
Well, I certainly hope that customer experience will be a major part of education, MBAs, all business management, education, human resources, that this will actually be a whole pensum or segment of the curriculum, which will then in turn create what I was talking about with the operationalizing. Customer experience is not the cool thing or the differentiator thing. It's the way we do business.
Yeah.
Oh,
so wow. Yeah, that would be so cool.
Yeah, that would be amazing. So that's what I hope for, and I see that we are in fact going in that direction.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Let's keep our fingers crossed, Sabina.
Yeah, fingers crossed. And finally, what is one piece of advice? I mean, based on what we talked about here, the future of CX, what is one piece of advice that you'd like to share with everyone who's listening and watching?
Continuous learning.
Oh, beautiful. That is beautiful. And
continuous learning. Join networks. There's so many great places you can be a continuous learner today, whether it's either just by following people on LinkedIn who share and write, or whether it's being part of a community. There's so many great communities out there in customer experience. Joining the awards, such as like the International Customer Experience, because it's all of these places that you will have the ability to continuously learn, evolve, share. And that's the only way that things are going so quickly.
Yeah.
So I think I love that quote, that it's not AI, for example, that's going to take our jobs, but it's more the people who know how to collaborate and use AI will. And that is the one piece of advice. Continuous learning. And you've got to be proactive yourself. That's up to each and every individual.
Yeah. Very good advice. And I mean, this is so short and sweet. And that was all that we had for today with you, Joanna Carr. Thank you so much for being on the show and for sharing all these great insights and your thoughts with us.
Thank you so much, Sabina, and thank you to all your listeners.
And that is a wrap. And looking forward to seeing you next time. Bye.